So this is just going to be a little rant about how this country hates single people. You cannot succeed in this country if you're a single person, I swear. So I'm trying to move out of where I live now. I have a terrible living situation. And it's impossible. It's literally impossible. For a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, house or apartment, everywhere I have looked near me is starting out at $1,200 to $1,400. How much is it for a 2-bedroom though? Starting out $1,200 to $1,400. So if I had a second person, this would probably be way easier. Not to mention, you cannot even have pets at any of these places. How y'all gonna allow children that will absolutely do damage? But my cats who sleep all day, they can't come? And then Verizon, I need you to count your days. I'm supposed to be paying $85 for unlimited everything. Somehow though, my bill is always $99. And I just got an email a few days ago telling me that my plan is gonna be raised by $4. So I still have a $100 phone payment. So then I was looking to change phone providers because no, but that's pretty much the price anywhere for 1 line. Now, if I were to sign up and get 4 lines, it would be $100. So I can pay for 1 line, which is $100, or I can get 4 for $100. Make it make sense. What the hell? So they're making it to where you cannot survive this economy by yourself. And I don't like people. So I don't want people in my space all the time. I'm living with a nightmare roommate right now, and I am miserable. So I know everybody else has gotta be.
When a woman vents about economic pressure, she gets sympathy. But if a man expressed the same frustration, he'd be labeled weak or whining. The double standard is real. Men are expected to quietly shoulder financial strain, while women are allowed to frame it as society failing them.
One of the things that single child-free people really want is just the validation and someone to hold the space for them when they say, this is fucking hard. Yes, I know that having kids is hard and being a single mom is hard. Of course it is. That's why we don't want to fucking do it. But every time we try to share that this is really hard to do all of this shit alone and to do life alone in this economy, it just gets hijacked by the moms who are like, being a single mom is hard. Of course it is. But so is ours. And all we want is just the space and ability to be like, hey, it's really difficult to do this shit alone. Let me just move my penis mic for a second. I liked pink and I thought it was cool, but then I got it and I'm like, it looks like a penis. So let me just move that out of the way. I was sitting on my couch in my apartment that I live in by myself, and I'm fully aware that I could get a roommate, but I'm 3 years old and I kind of don't want that and I just want to live by myself. So I was sitting on my couch thinking about, I wonder when I get into a relationship, would he move in here? I'm not even actively dating, so I don't know why this popped into my head. But I was like, would he move in here? And I'm like, no, there's not enough closet space. So we would have to upgrade into a 2-bedroom. And then I was like, 2 bedrooms are more expensive. Yeah, but when you're splitting the rent with somebody, it's only going to be what, $300-400 more than what I'm paying for a 1-bedroom by myself. So if we do the math, as a single person, I am paying $1,000 more a month just to exist in my apartment that I don't share and split the rent for with anybody. I would actually be saving money moving in with someone and upgrading to a more expensive 2-bedroom apartment. Imagine what I would do with an extra $1,000 a month. So I'm covering the costs of just life in and of itself, an apartment, all of the bills. I'm doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the grocery shopping. If shit goes wrong with my car, guess who's got to bring it to the dealership? Me. Guess whose credit card that shit goes on? Mine. And yes, I am fully aware that these are all choices. Everything is always a choice, right? Getting married to some dusty ass dude just so you can be financially comfortable is also a choice. That is not a choice that I am willing to make, and I am fully okay with my life, and it is hard. Just choose your hard. This is choose your own adventure. It's okay that it's hard. It's okay that I'm not willing to sacrifice other things. And I just need a moment to say this is fucking hard. So all we want is just a fucking moment of carrying all of this by themselves, and you're doing it alone, and there's nobody to tuck you in at night and be like, hey, good job, champ, or I love you, or oh, baby, let me rub your feet. There's none of that. You're just out here doing it alone all day, every day. And I see you. To my single child-free people, I see you. It is hard, and you have every right. You come into this comments and be like, thank you. It is hard for me. And you get to say that it's hard, and no one's going to talk you out of it. I will not hijack the situation, and I'm not trying to win, or nobody's really trying to win the struggle Olympics. It's okay. that you get to speak and that it's hard. All right, so that's my piece. Single child free people. See you. Love you. And stick around. Make sure you like, follow, save, and share.
The feminism narrative was pushed for years that they didn't need anyone, has now backfired into loneliness, burnout, and frustration.
I'm having one of those hard days today, guys. One of those days where I really wish God would come on with my husband. Where is my husband? Where is he at? Oh my gosh, I needed somebody to help me with my groceries today, to take them out of my car. And usually that doesn't really hit me, but today I was just like, Lord, what? What is the ETA? And let me reiterate, I will wait. I've been waiting. I've been waiting a while. Do I want a cookie? Absolutely not. I don't want a cookie for waiting. That's what you got to do. But literally, I don't have any other option but to wait. There's not an option. There's not an option to date. There's not an option to settle. There's not an option to do any of those things. Because God has instructed that. And have I stepped outside the wheel a few times? Yeah. But then quickly you realize that, okay, you're settling. And God is like, yeah, go sit back down. What are you doing? But I just needed to rant really quick. Today's been rough. Every month is rough. Let's just say that. But today has been especially rough. Getting my groceries out of my car by myself. Any other day would be fine. Today, I just really needed some companionship, but I will be okay. Ladies will be okay. There's no big sermon in this. I just felt like ranting today. Keep your flesh in check. I know I'm trying my best to do that every month. We got it. We're good.
Women need to stop framing normal life responsibilities as crises and calling it waiting for a husband. Peace comes from building resilience, not expecting a man to rescue you from everyday tasks like groceries.
So a report came out from Morgan Stanley that suggested that by the year 2030, about 45% of women between the ages of 25 to 44 are going to be single. And if you look at different conversations based upon the study, there was this emphasis on the she economy, basically the rise of an economy where women are getting into more positions of power, getting into more positions into corporate world, specifically into white collar positions, things of that nature. And this goes back to my earlier point. One of the reasons I do think there is a big push for women to delay marriage, to not get married at all, to not have kids at all, is because, again, that gives women more time and access to work and slave away for these corporations. Now, hear me. If you're a woman and you truly don't want to get married, you truly don't want to have kids, no issue there. I think the issue is, though, you are having women get to a certain age and they're looking at their biological clock, or they're looking at their life, and they're not happy. And they're saying, crap, I did this, I did that, I'm making this money, or I'm trying to make money, but I'm lonely. Or I am slaving away at this job and I still can't pay enough bills. Or I'm just tired of, holding a cat when I go to sleep. I want to actually have a human being. Like, the issue, again, to me is that this conversation around women being single and choosing to be single, it's so one-sided. Like, you're not talking about the pros and the cons. We know that there are pros and cons of getting married. Like, marriage is very difficult. Marriage is beautiful, but it's also tough. I think many of us know the pros and the cons. And a lot of times we talk about the negativity because of the amount of people who get divorced. But when it comes to being single, a lot of times that stuff is just breezed over. Like, there aren't also issues associated with it, especially as a woman, especially if you want to have kids, especially if you want to have a family one day, and what it means to waste some of your prime years in corporate world or working 13, 14, 15 hours, not investing in your relationships, not investing in finding a partner, not investing in maybe wanting to have kids, and then you get to a certain age and you want to do that stuff and you can't, or it's harder to do so. This is the kind of stuff that we're not told as women. And again, why? Because there is a profit incentive. It can make companies a lot of money if they have a generation of women who choose not to have kids, who choose to go to work, and they're told that that's going to make them happier. And is it really? I don't know. I honestly don't know if it is, because I think if it was, then society would be, I think, in a different place. And we wouldn't see such negativity and so many women going online and talking about how, depressed they are in one moment, but then they're single and independent, but then they're lonely. Like, honestly, I don't buy it. I don't buy that you can live a lifestyle that is completely against nature, completely against the way God made many of us, and be happy. Like, I just don't think it's believable for most of us.
Kevin Samuels said this years ago. Women will be all right. They're strong and independent and don't need any man.
Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone. It's great, it's fantastic, but fuck, it's expensive. Ah! I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all 4 brakes and axles and rotors and whatever the fuck. And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just blew $1,100 in like 3 hours, and it wasn't even like fun, you know? Fuck. Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. Like, you work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities. And you can't, like, in this city that I live in, public transport, please. If I were to do public transport, it's like asking to get raped, and I really shouldn't be crying because now I have to go to another work event, and now I'm gonna be all puffy. Living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive. And what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted is if I were to take public transport here, especially for my job requires a car. I have to have a bunch of shit that I have to lug with me for work. And I can't do that with public transport. I'm venting. Inflation sucks. Just living in America sucks. Living alone sucks. It's great, but it sucks. Because you have to front all the expenses by yourself. I need a husband just so that I can live. So we can split the bills.
Welcome to the real world, ladies.
Good morning, single people, from me and whatever my hair has decided to do today. I want to talk about the economy, kind of. If you are single, you know how expensive it is to be single. You don't split rent, you don't split a mortgage, you don't split the electric bill, the internet bill, nothing. You pay for everything 100% on your own. That costs a lot of fucking money. I don't think that feeling better about being single should cost a lot of money. So when I see dating coaches and matchmakers charging thousands, literally thousands, for something that is not guaranteed and does not have a refund policy, I get concerned. I don't think single people who want partnership are going to be single forever. I don't think that the only way to feel good about being single is to choose being single forever. I don't believe in that. I believe in feeling good while we're single for as long as we happen to be single. And I don't believe in trying to buy our way out of singlehood by paying a matchmaker or a dating coach $3,000. If you do not feel good about your singlehood, if it is frustrating, exhausting, deeply upsetting, and just bringing you the fuck down, you don't deserve that. Since 2019, I have run a podcast helping single people feel better about what we are. It costs $5 per month. It always has, and it always will. You cannot buy a partner, but you can buy a really good podcast.
The single tax is so real. Like, I'm genuinely, like, I would move my parents into my house right now if my parents, like, lived close to me. Like, they're renting, and it would just, like, make my life so much easier. To have somebody to split these fucking bills with. Everything is so expensive. I'm, like, just genuinely, like, fighting for my life. If you have a dual income, no kids household, consider yourself blessed and highly favored. Like, this is why, actually, my 15-year plan when I was 15, or excuse me, my 10-year plan when I was 15, I should have kept to that, actually.
But wasn't it all supposed to be worth it as a strong, independent woman?
How are you guys surviving out there? We know the economy is not going to get any better. And of course, I know I made a video saying that $100,000 a year for a family is barely just getting by in middle class. What is going to change? It's not going to really much in the future. And it's really scary. It's really scary for single moms to be living on a single income, especially this day and age. I want to know how they're making it, and my heart goes out to them because I was a single mom before, and I still am a single mom. What I mean is, when I was a single mom, things weren't that expensive. I was able to manage on one income, taking care of my kid. Now, with everything being expensive, I have no idea where you guys live. I live in Arizona. And when I first moved into my place, it cost like $1,000 a month, which is not that bad here at all. That's pretty cheap. And now I pay maybe $1,600 a month or so. That's not even including utilities. Plus food, maybe $200 a week or something like that for food. And electricity, couple hundred or so a month. It skyrockets in the summertime because it's so fucking hot here. It runs around like 114, 115. But gas is like $4.40 here, I think. You can see where I'm coming along with this here. With everything getting expensive, it's impossible to even combine incomes and still even make it. It's just ridiculous. That's why a lot of people are trying to figure out other incomes. But I wish there was just so many people open to the idea of starting a business, starting digital marketing. But their doubts and fears just get in the way of everything. And it's so frustrating. You make excuses. I've always heard excuses from people. But it's just so crazy. I don't get it. I mean, people just want to suffer and struggle when they know there's so many opportunities out there, but they're just so scared. Hey, you know what? I totally get it, because I was one of those people that felt buying a course was a scam. It took me forever to realize the concept of it. But once I pretty much got my head out of my ass and trying to look at everything and decided to take that leap, is when things got better for me. You see the world differently. And I just wish everybody was able to visually see that, because I feel like everyone's just like a one-track mind and they're not able to see openly. I get really scared for our economy, and I'm scared for everybody, American people, everybody, because this is affecting all of us. And that's why I'm here. I know if I took advantage of digital marketing when my daughter was a baby, I probably would be in a different situation here, but I didn't. I don't think it was even available when my daughter was a baby, but that's why I'm here, because I wanted to let all single moms know.
But this is exactly what women wanted for decades. Their own money, their own freedom. Everything in their terms, for them. Why the complaining now? Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.